And so we're looking at the restaurant supply store Google search for Birmingham, Alabama. The search we put in into the search term we've put in is restaurant supply store Birmingham, Alabama. And what we're looking at is a capture of the first page of Google from someone who is located in Birmingham, Alabama. Now, let's just take a look from the top to the bottom, first page of Google from the customer perspective. So, customers in this area, located in Birmingham, Alabama, looking for a restaurant supply store, and they go to Google, what do they find? So, the first thing to point out here from the customer perspective is that Google is showing a map at the very top, the first thing. You won't see a map on every search. Google puts a map in when it feels that the customer is looking for something that might be in the real world that exists offline in their area or in the area that they're searching. And it doesn't always have to be at the very top. Sometimes it's lower, sometimes it's below some organic rankings, sometimes it's below some Google ads. In this case, it is the main thing, first thing Google's putting in front of the person performing this search. So now we look at this map. We take a quick scan of the three businesses that have given Google the most evidence that they exist in this market and they are a restaurant supply store. We have Bresco, Restaurant Depot, The Liquidators LLC, and what we can tell from now, we can see their hours of operation, and we can also see their reviews, and we see this map right here that is providing us some someone familiar with the area. They can quickly and easily identify who's the closest or how far away the highest ranked option is. And these are some very good rankings. Anything over a 4.0 is a good Google review. And here the top one with the 4.6 has 85 reviews. You'll notice the third has a 4.7, but only 13 reviews. That might be playing a part of why they're third instead of number one. Everything with rankings, it is related to content, backlinks, and user signals. That is how the information makes its way onto the first page of Google. So based off of all the information online that Google's seeing, these are the best results, best options that Google has found based off of all the signals that it's gathered. So just because you have the highest ranking, or just because you have the most Google reviews, or just because you're located right down the street instead of an hour away, it all goes in and plays a role and is all a factor in Google's machine learning robot processing. So that is our map here at the very top. So let's scroll down now and let's see what organic links are up first. So organic links are the websites themselves. Some people, let me see if I can, there we go, make this a little bit bigger for everybody. And these are your organic links. Some people refer to them as free. However, it's better to refer to these rankings as earned. So it's something the business has done, the content they've created, the links they've acquired, and the behavior of customers and users online that has helped Google to accumulate these options and rank them in the order that they are in. And we can see at the top here, this Bresco, very familiar. They are the first one on Google Maps. And here they are first in organic as well. That should not be surprising that the Maps is largely driven off of what we're finding down here. So Bresco, Birmingham, the one thing that I'll point out with this top ranking, that home hyphen, it's very common for a WordPress website default settings, and so they might not have updated their title tag or left the default populated title tag for this home page, but the The links down here you see, that is driven off of your navigation on the website, and they've obviously made it very clean and clear to Google that people on their site are also interested in visiting Bresco, contacting about us, or potentially seeing where they've been in the news. Moving down to the second, we have restaurant supply. .com locations, Alabama, and they have this Birmingham restaurant supply titled page. And below that, you can see some of this bolded text. And the way you get this text bolded is you have words. If we go back and take a look at what did we initially type in here, these words that the person searching is using will be bolded as they appear down below in the meta description. So title being the nice big bright link here, and then meta description being that text below. So that's how restaurant equipment, Birmingham AL, and shop are all being bolded, because they're in that initial search, or very close to that initial search. So next, and also, pointing out with the second one, they're leading with Birmingham Restaurant Supply on their title tag. Very clear, very strong indication to Google. Hey, we are a Birmingham Restaurant Supply. This page is a good result for someone searching for a Birmingham Restaurant Supply, supplies and equipment. Next, we've got our Webstaurant store, and again, Birmingham Restaurant Supply, then the brand tacked on to the title tag. They have a similar website architecture. You can see how this content. Our first one is the home page, so there's no folders, of where this content's found. Our next two have a locations folder and then an Alabama folder as their site structure. So that indicates to me they've got multiple locations. This is a national website here on these two, and these location pages are what's making appearance for this search. So that's the most appropriate when it comes to that. So we go to the next, and Bresco again. So Bresco, congratulations to them. They've got 2 appearances on the first page. If we look at the actual website itself, it is a different domain. A lot of cases where you see 2 different domains for the same business, there could be that they have an older website that's just still lingering out there in the Google search results, and it redirects, or potentially they have an older website that is still live, and in this case, they've got 2 results on the first page due to having these 2 websites. And sometimes Google frowns upon having multiple sites going, for the same offering, but there are ways to do it, and in this case, it seems to be benefiting them having these 2 websites. So if we keep going down, then we have bhamrestaurantequipment.com, title tag restaurant equipment warehouse Birmingham. And again, the bolded restaurant equipment, Birmingham, Alabama. This is way more leaning into the equipment than the restaurant supplies. And a lot of searches for restaurant supply stores are looking for new and used restaurant equipment. So this could be a popular this could get frequent clicks from people doing this search, because if they're looking for equipment, then this might be more appealing than the other links above that are just restaurant supply. And then next we have Yelp. So Yelp, this is, if you're not familiar with Yelp, which I'm sure everyone's familiar with Yelp at this point, but Yelp is what you call a directory website or a review website. And what that's going to do is it's going to aggregate, or it's going to collect a lot of options. Some people don't want to take the time of going through the search results and clicking all the options and looking at the different options like the ones we have above. Some users would prefer I want someone to just give me a list. And that's what Yelp and other directory websites do, is they're gonna, and a lot of them have their own ranking and their own review system. And as I'm seeing the meta description, this Bresco's in here, and and some other business names are appearing there. In some city, this is one of those that can vary from city to city. Some cities, they want the local businesses. Like the first page will just be local businesses. Other cities, it's Yelp and other directories and other similar aggregated review sites, and then they get to the local. So that's another reason why we're just taking a trip from the top of the first page of Google down to the bottom, looking at it from a customer perspective. Here also inside Yelp, you'll notice these questions here. What are people saying about restaurant supply services in Birmingham, Alabama? We're not going to dig into the pages themselves on this particular video, but it would not surprise me if we clicked onto this page and we looked at it. If the chances are they have this content on their page. They have it marked up using something called schema, and that just labels everything real clean and clear for Google and other robots to understand what's on the page. The reason you want to do that is for what we're seeing right here. They're taking up more space, get more visibility, and potentially more people interacting with their content. And they also have a second page right here. So that's 2 results. That's a lot of space there. If we keep going down, we have Shop at Dean. So Birmingham Restaurant Supply, Shop at Dean. So that the brand on the end of Birmingham Restaurant Supply. And up here, I'm looking at the breadcrumbs, how it has the website and then pages and then Birmingham. I would imagine, I'm going to guess that is a Shopify website, just because of the way Shopify content is structured on the site. So another, because of this having a Birmingham Restaurant Supply page and not the home page, I'm going to guess that this is another one of those multiple locations, and this just happens to be the Birmingham, Alabama URL that's up for satisfying this search. Next, Yellow Pages. This is again similar to Yelp. This is going to be, and you can see, there's the liquidators is in here, listed in this meta description. So again, someone who I just want to list, I don't want to look at all these different businesses. This is to satisfy, that search. And then below that, we have ads. And sometimes ads are at the top, sometimes ads are at the bottom, sometimes you don't even see any Google ads. If you are a business and you're looking at, what searches, what are people searching that I would want to get in front of? What are my customers doing? When you see ads, that's a good signal. And the reason it's a good signal is someone finds this search valuable. Someone is finding a way to make money off this search. Otherwise, they would spend, they would just be losing money with these Google ads. If they're on, that means they found a way to make money off of these searches. And it can be very, you can glean a lot of information from these too, like reading, their titles, reading their meta descriptions, seeing the names of the links there can help you in like what are enticing people to click when they're doing these searches. What kind of information do we want to put in front? When you're running ads, you can test a lot faster. You can tweak things and spend more to get more feedback faster. So if we keep going down, we have this last section here for this particular search, and this is related searches. Again, great place to look for some just kind of added information from Google. And this is, from the customer perspective, we've gone all the way down the page. If we get to this related searches, that means we've looked at everything above and we still haven't found what we're looking for. If we found what we're looking for, we would have, stopped scrolling essentially. So here's Google's attempt at, hey, you, it's scrolling down, you're looking for something. Maybe you need to refine your search. Maybe you need to put something different. Maybe you need to put a little something more. And these are their recommendations. So, not surprising, this brand pops up, Bresco. They seem to be very strong in the first page of Google here. They have first in maps, they have first in organic, they have a second appearance in organic, and here they are again with related searches. that just means they've done a really whatever they've done online, Google is associating their brand with this search very closely. And then some other ones, the adding Tuscaloosa, it's a different city, but and some, maybe Google's saying, hey, if you're in Tuscaloosa or closer to Tuscaloosa, maybe try Tuscaloosa instead of Birmingham, or maybe it's worth the drive depending on what you're looking for. And then Restaurant Depot, another brand, and then also the restaurant supply store near me. So restaurant supply store near me is just turning over to Google, hey, do your best to understand where I am in the world and give me things that are near me. So that is a look from the start to finish, top to bottom of the first page of Google for this search term here of restaurant supply store, Birmingham, Alabama. And the best place to look, the best place to look first when it comes to any kind of Google search or anything like that is go to the first page of Google. Look before you start running all these tools and fancy things. Look at the first page of Google. Google's showing you here are, based off of what is currently available for Google to index and look at essentially. These are the best results that the robot can put together. This is all driven off of content, links, and user signals. If you're interested in diving deeper, if you want to know more, if you want to know what is out there online that Google is able to index and take record of, and why are these results showing up and others aren't, maybe who's on page 2 or 3, then that requires more digging deeper. If that's something you're interested in, then I encourage you to visit restaurantsupplyhelp.com/audit, and there you can fill out a form, very short, your name and contact, and what city you would like a deeper dive, more extensive audit, and that looks at, okay, well, let's look at these URLs. Let's see, what is the content on these pages. Let's look at, who is linking to these pages. Where are those links going? Where are they coming from? And gives you a better idea of why these are making it to the first page and others are not. So thanks for watching this, and hope to talk to you soon. Bye-bye.